Hi, it's Jane. Thought we'd do a little Tunisian crochet and chat. Oh, so how is everybody today? You having a good week? Mine's been rather interesting. You know, seems like every time I turn around, there's something crazy going on. Um, my sister had contacted me and said, why don't you just send me those pictures that you found in your file? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So apparently she had gotten an email, supposedly from me, saying that I had found two pictures in my in a folder, and I thought she'd like to see them with the link. And I started laughing to her. I said, nope, not me. I said, I would have just sent you the pictures, texted them to you. And she said, yeah, I figured it's probably a scam. She said, but it was really odd because it came from your, what has been a little over 2.5 years, the Jane Wynn at Verizon.net. Well, I haven't had Verizon.net for 2.5 years because, of course, although Thomas and I had been with them for like probably close to 20 years, 18 years. When I went in and took his name off the account, and this was account, both of us had the account, I was told that my rates would be higher because I was no longer a loyal customer. I was having to start over. So I put up with that for the first month, and then I went looking for a different plan. I told them then I just want to do a month by month because I figure with both of us being on that plan that I was just as loyal as he was since we were both on the plan. So she kind of laughed at that and she goes, well, I just wanted to make sure that, you hadn't been hacked or anything. And I told her, I said, well, I just run a security check on my computer and everything last night. So there's nothing there. So I don't know where that might have come from, but I'll run it again. Of course, I ran it again and no issues. So I'm telling you, people, beware of those things and don't click on the links. Generally what it is when you click on those links, you get to a site that introduces malware on your system, and then you have to go in and clean it up. So, yeah, just beware. Be real careful, when you see those things. And, I find it interesting that we continue to see that happening all the time. You would think in this day and age they could stop it. And that's why, this whole idea with the Biden administration wanting to move to a digital currency makes me very leery of it. Not only that, but the whole idea of once you do that, you can't go out and tip your waitresses cash money. You have to you put it all on a digital thing, and then of course your banks and government control you too easily that way, and I just don't like that idea. You know, it's kind of like the idea with the car that is all computerized and digitized. They have the ability that if your payment doesn't go through, to stop the vehicle in its tracks. So, you know, there are a lot of good things, but there are a lot of bad things about those kind of issues. So, you know, I'm just pretty leery of that kind of thing. Just makes me nervous. And we've got, by the time you see this, we've all finished our day of voting, and thank goodness. Now we just have to wait for the results, and that's a little bit ridiculous too. Then on top of that, we've had another round of daylight saving times. I don't know about you, but I detest daylight saving times. I really wish that we would stop that nonsense. You know, I still, every time I think of it, I think of the whole thing with the Indians saying only government who thinks they can chop off one end of a blanket, sew it on to the other end, would make a longer blanket. Seems about right, right? Absolutely seems about right. Huh. But, statistics show that people actually have more health issues. There are more car accidents following the week following that time change, regardless what it is. And I don't know about you, but I went to bed about the same time I normally do, even though it was an hour earlier. I still got up, well, it would have been a normal 6 a.m. I'm like, it's just nonsense, and it takes so long to get adjusted to it. So, I don't know. Really thought the Congress would finally pass that to where we don't have to do that stupid nonsense. But apparently that isn't so there we go. I'm still working on things here in the house. Just, a little bit here, a little bit there. Still can't get that stupid Roomba to connect, although I'm still working on it. Hopefully I can get it done pretty soon. Next thing is to contact Roomba and find out what the heck's going on. Done everything they've said to do. Followed, there's a recommendation, a YouTube video that shows how to try to reboot it. So I'm trying to reboot it. Well, we'll see if that actually works or not, but it seems like it's one thing after another. Sorry about that. Had a sneezing fit there. That is another thing with this. I'm laughing because with this CPAP, you can't sneeze while you have it on. So I always find that funny. Have to remove it to actually sneeze. And I found if you've got a tickle in your throat, that can be rather annoying and difficult to do away with. So, things you find out when you're using a CPAP. It just changed your life in general. Somehow I got a little bit of tangle here. Don't know how that happened. Yes, I do. I'd pulled out a bunch of yarn and I I had two little kitties that were helping me with it. I'm not quite sure how I got that big a tangle though. Don't you hate tangles in your yarn? They make me kind of nutso. All right, we're back in business. Now I'm ready to start my row again. You notice every once in a while I stop once I get the row just to make sure my count is right. That's always a good idea with Tunisian, especially if you're doing something like this that's just a scarf that's easy to count. Something like a blanket might be a little bit harder to count, but if you can use some stitch markers, to keep that place so that you know this is how many stitches should be here, how many stitches should be there. But also it's a little bit easier to follow on your blankets, Tunisian blankets. So there's always that. So anyway, we have been doing things at the church for the Operation Christmas Child. And one of the things that we're finding is when we have Awana, they tend to use that room for taking some of the other kids into the classroom to work with verses, which means they mess up everything on the tables because they'll use two tables, and we have to go back in and resort it and everything else. And now that the tables are starting to get full, we've asked them not to go in there. So far they keep using it, so I don't know what we're going to do about that. It's like you almost want to tell them, look, this is only for a short amount of time. You can do this without moving into there. Find another way around it. And the problem is we have plenty of tables in the one classroom. So, I don't know. Be interesting to see how that works. In the long run. But we'll manage to get it worked out, I'm sure. But, yeah, it's rather interesting. Oh. Made a mistake there. So it's rather interesting how that, how people will continue to do something even though they've been asked not to. Even Christians. We all do it. I have a neighbor up the street that is, he's doing I don't know what he's actually doing. I think he may be thinking about putting in a curb around his property. He does a lot of his stuff around the house on his own, not using a contractor. And that is because he also does that type of work as well. So, I don't know. Just find it interesting. So, anyway. So, what are you guys working on? Got anything new planned? I will tell you, I did find a pattern and I had purchased it, but I have not done it yet. And I am planning on doing it. I was planning on making them for two things. One for Operation Christmas Child, and the other one was for dementia patients. And it's one of those Fidget Hedgehogs. It is a pattern on Etsy by Willow and Wild, I believe, is the name. I'll try to remember to leave the link down below. But it's awful cute. It is adorable. And yeah, it pony beads. So, and Lisa of Lisa's Crochet had already done one of those. And so you should go look and see her video. I will leave a link to her channel so that you can go by and look at it if you would like to. But I just felt like it would be a good item to put in some of the boxes next year. I don't know. I don't think the beads are meant to move, like you would normally with a fidget toy. I think it's just a sensory toy to run your fingers over, that kind of thing, to be honest. But I don't know for sure. I don't know if they're supposed to move or if it's just like I said, a sensory toy for you to move your hands over. So yeah, and the only other thing that I've been doing is trying to keep an eye out on different sales for Operation Christmas Child. I know Dollar General this Thursday, is it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they have a special on buy one, get one free for all of their Hot Wheels and I think they're calling them Hot Wheels and Mattel cars, which are Hot Wheels. So, and that's a pretty good price. And I think they've got them listed as $1.25. So, that's a pretty good price. So consider, purchasing some of those for your boxes if you so desire. I know I generally go get a couple, and then Dollar Tree has this lovely box that'll hold 6 cars. I've actually got more than 6 cars in there before, but it depends on the car that you've got put in there. But it will hold 6 cars that you can place in your box as a wow item. A lot of people have asked me what wow items are. And that is the item that when the kids get it, they go, wow. Or they're constantly looking at it, surprised at it. And generally it's a toy that's a little bit higher value. And a lot of people, you have to use your own discretion. If you shop frugally and shop wisely, you can get some decent wow toys at a pretty good, decent price. I will tell you one of the groups that I know about in our area, when they shop year round for things. A lot of the gals will use their if they have the over-the-counter cards with their insurance companies, then they will buy Band-Aids, they will buy toothbrushes, hygiene things, those kind of things, toothbrushes, nail files, nail clippers, those kind of things. Generally what I will do is I will buy the nail clipper set at Walmart that is like $1.24. You get a small nail clipper, file, emery board, not a file, emery board, cuticle. You get 5 things in it. I can't remember what it is. But you get tweezers, and then you get the larger toenail clippers. Now I pull the toenail clippers out because I put those in the fishing kits that I make for the boys. So, you know, there are a lot of ways to spend wisely. You know, when you go to the store, pick up a couple of those over the year, and then you can add them in. Generally, I take it is a 4 by 10 inch poly bag that's about 4 milliliters thick. So it's a thick bag. Generally, what I put in it, I will put that set in it. I'll put a comb, Band-Aids, toothbrush. Many times I put in two toothbrushes. Say that fast. But yeah, those are some of the things that I have done in the past, over the year, that kind of thing, and building fishing kits as you go. Now, this year I've started doing my fishing kits a little differently, where I am taking some 1/2 inch dowel sticks, cutting them down to the size that will fit into the prescription bottle, but also drilling a hole in it, tying the fishing line on it so they already know how to do that. So it's already connected, and all they have to do is add the hook and weight if they want to, or the little bobber. So those are the ways that I build my fishing kits. Of course, also there's a small paper in it that shows how to fish. And that's generally something that I give to the older boys. I don't always give them to the younger boys. The 5 to 9 or younger than that. Generally, I try to just get a decent toy to go in the box. Stuffy, always put a stuffed toy in there. Girls, get dolls. Generally, I get the little baby dolls for the younger too. For the older girls, many times I'll work on getting a Barbie doll and or Barbie sets. And generally, I will buy throughout the years. I'll pick up a couple of packs of the, the pink zippered Barbie cases you get at Dollar Tree for $1.25. I'll pick up a couple here and there, those throughout the year. Extra clothes, that kind of thing. And of course, a Barbie here and there. And I try to make sure that I get a Barbie that is either on sale or even one of the Dollar Tree Barbies. Generally, I'll get 2 of those. Put 2 of those in there and several outfits of clothes, shoes, accessories, those kind of things for the older girls. So try to do that. And some of the other groups I've seen have done that kind of thing. I also make backpacks. With all the fabric that I have, it's easy to make a backpack. It's also very easy to take all the scraps and make it a scrappy backpack. I do that quite often. And it's just it's a nice extra thing to be able to throw into the pot there, into that box. Folds up easily, that kind of thing. So, now I haven't made zippered pencil pouches in the past, and I don't know why I haven't. It's not like I don't have fabric, I could do it, but I just haven't yet. So, I'm kind of working on those things here and there, making a list of things I can make. that I can either make to bring for the fillers to go in boxes, or even to add to my own boxes. And of course, you know, putting back those quarters here and there so that I can pay for those boxes. And generally, I don't always put the money in the box. Generally what I will do is I will go online and scan the labels and pay online at Samaritan's Purse. When you do that, you also get an opportunity to track your box and see where it goes. Also keep in mind that not all boxes go to areas where children are dark-skinned. They go many places. I do know that Samaritan's Purse has always given out to different Indian reservations here in the U.S. I do know that many times when there is a place that's devastated by tornadoes, hurricanes, those kind of things, they will earmark some of those to go into those areas too. So I just think it's a good program all the way around. I think I did that one wrong. And yes, I did. No, I didn't. I have been enjoying watching a lot of other channels. I've got a few shout outs here and there that I'm collecting, and a couple of those are some fairly new channels to me. So that should be fun to get those all gathered together. My nose is really itching today. Pollen must be high here. But I took a little break from doing the Healthier You. I will get back into that probably next week. But this week, on Wednesday, I have a deposition. Then, of course, we have prayer shawl. And I had offered to back someone's baby blanket. They had crocheted a baby blanket, and they don't really like the way the back looks, so they've asked me to add flannel backing to it. So I will be doing that. And then I don't think I have anything Friday other than my prayer group. So, but the next week, my goodness, I have something every day of the week, and some things all day long. And that is a full week, every single day. So it's going to be an interesting week. See if I survive it. Maybe awful bushed and tired. But yeah. And also trying to work on some things, you know, for Christmas, some other things I need to get done. Need to finish putting those cell phone purses together. They're sewn, with the exception I have not installed the straps on them yet, so I've got to get that done. Not sure when I'm going to find time to do that. But we'll need to find time to do it, won't I? I've been playing with the cats a lot lately. They love that laser, chasing the laser dot. And I get to laughing at them because I run them around the house. And it helps me get my steps in as well. So we kind of run around the house. They're chasing the dot. And then I generally, run it under the refrigerator or up a cabinet wall or something so it disappears. And Ronan this evening was sitting waiting for the dot in the kitchen next to the cabinet. He just knew it was going to come back out for the longest time. So, yeah, having fun with these cats and that laser. It's been a lot of fun. Anyway. All right, guys, I need to go. My nose is driving me nuts. So I'm going to go for now, and I will see you again soon. Hope you enjoyed this little chat. Let me know what you're working on, and I will see you again soon. Bye.